YouTube channel. You guys, today I am actually so excited for this video. I have been wanting to do this for a very long time. And finally today I decided that I'm going to take the time. I'm going to make this video. If you can't already tell by the title and thumbnail what this video is, I am going to be reading you guys one of my books, Jojo and Bobo Take the Stage. This is actually the first book in my chapter series of Jojo and Bobo. There's also Jojo and Bobo Candy Kisses. There's Puppy Pageant. There might be a couple more coming out. But today I was like, I want to read you guys this book. If you guys like this video and you want me to do more videos where I read you guys my books, let me know down in the comments. So comment what your favorite book of mine is and what one you want me to read to you. There's Jojo's Guide to the Sweet Life. There's Guide to Making Your Own Fun. There's Jojo Loves Bobo. There's the other chapter books. There's so many books out. And now the last thing before I get into reading this book for you guys, don't forget that I am going on tour. I'm so excited. Tour starts in literally less than 100 days, which is crazy. Also too, some cities literally have less than 100 tickets left. Also though, a lot of the cities are already sold out. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet to come see me perform live, go to that. I will link it down in the description. Or you can head over to jojodreamtour.com. But now friends, without any further ado, I want to get into reading this book. Let's go. Alright, first things first, Jojo and Bobo Take the Stage by Jojo Siwa. There's 11 chapters in this book, so if you haven't gotten a snack already, you might want to get one. Chapter number 1, we got a cute little picture of Bobo. Alright, now into reading it. Jojo Siwa had just heard the best news. It was so amazing she couldn't decide who to share it with first. Her adorable teacup Yorkie Bobo or her very best friend in the whole world, Miley. She glanced toward her nightstand where her phone was charging. It would take just a few seconds to dash off a text to Miley. Alright, decision made. As she reached for her glitter phone case, Jojo heard a familiar sound. Thump, thump, thump. Jojo looked down from where she was sitting cross-legged on her pink bedspread and saw Bobo wagging her tail, looking up at her expectantly from the floor. Being the adorable teacup she was, Bobo was too small to jump onto the bed. That is a true statement. But by thumping her tail against it, she was letting Jojo know she needed a lift. Jojo scooped Bobo into her arms and then settled back against her mountain of fuzzy pink pillows, Bobo in her lap. Okay, Bobo, I have to text Miley really quick, and then I have some super exciting news to share with you. Jojo typed her message to her best friend, adding a few heart emojis, and pressed send. Putting her phone down, she turned her attention back to Bobo. Alright, are you ready for the super exciting news? Jojo asked. Bobo licked Jojo's chin. She was ready. She does that a lot. So I just found out that there is going to be a block party on our street in 2 weeks. Do you know what a block party is, Bobo? Bobo wagged her tail and tilted her head to the right, which Jojo was pretty sure meant no, but please continue. A block party is a huge party thrown by the entire neighborhood. Everyone is invited and everyone comes together to hang out and have fun. There will be a bouncy house and cotton candy machine and snow cones and pizza and games. Definitely my kind of party. Jojo was speaking very fast, something she did when she was excited, and also just all the time. And she got excited a lot, so Bobo was really good at following along. There will be an outdoor movie with a big projector and face painting and other kinds of entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, I just had an amazing idea. Bobo perked up. She was excited about Jojo's idea. She jumped off Jojo's lap and began running back and forth on the bed to show exactly how excited she was. Jojo leapt up too, scooting off her bed to pace back and forth in her room. Her brilliant plan churning around in her head, she had to talk about it with Miley before she burst. Just then her phone rang. Jojo's face broke into a wide grin. She didn't even have to look at the screen to know who was calling. The personalized kid in the candy store ringtone had tipped her off. It was Miley, of course. Miley, did you get my text? Jojo asked breathlessly. At the same time, Miley said, Jojo, I just got your text. Jinx! Kind of, said Jojo. The two best friends cracked up and Miley even let out her signature snort giggle. You first, Miley said. No, you called me so you can go first, Jojo replied. Yeah, but you had the big news, so okay, I can't take it anymore, Jojo said excitedly. So you got my text about the block party. Cool, right? Everyone's invited, and if that's not the best kind of party, I don't know what is. Am I right? Jojo was talking fast again, but Miley was just as good as Bobo at following along when Jojo got started. They'd been best friends for so long, they practically had their own language. Anyway, I was talking to Bobo about how there's going to be entertainment there. Wait, what? Miley interrupted, her voice playful. You were discussing the block party with Bobo? your dog Bobo. Jojo couldn't believe her ears. Was Miley suggesting that Bobo didn't understand? Of course I was discussing it with Bobo. Are you trying to suggest that my cute little dog doesn't speak human? Jojo asked in her most dramatic voice ever. Of course I wasn't saying that. Miley's grin shone through her words. I was just surprised that you were discussing it with Bobo before me. Jojo giggled. She knew Miley was kidding though. Even so, she never missed her chance to tell her friends how special they were to her. You know I love you, Miley, she said sincerely. And if you promise not to brag about it, I did text you first before I even told Bobo about the black party. Aw, thanks, girl, Miley laughed. So wait, go on about the entertainment, right? So Jojo felt herself getting worked up again. I had the best idea. Are you ready? She didn't even pause to hear Miley's response. What if I perform at the block party? And I was thinking maybe you could help me choreograph a new dance number for my performance. We have 2 weeks to come up with something, which isn't a ton of time, but I know we can do it. What do you say? Miley replied with, what do I say? Pretending she needed to consider it. I don't know. Jojo could imagine Miley on the other end of the phone, deep in thought, with a strand of long curly hair around her finger. This time, Jojo really thought she might burst. She knew Miley loved to tease, but she still bounced up and down on her toes while waiting for Miley's official yes. Her best friend was really great at choreography, and Jojo couldn't think of a better way to involve Miley in her performance than having her help design her routine. After what felt like an eternity, that sounds like the best idea ever, Miley finally exclaimed. I would love to help choreograph your performance. And Jojo, so many kids from school are huge fans of yours. Half of them have Boomerang as their ringtone. I know they would love to see you perform. Since Jojo had been homeschooled for practically her whole life, she didn't know all the neighborhood hoods. But planning a performance at the block party seemed like the perfect way to meet them and make some new friends. There were a few things that Jojo loved more than making new friends. Yay, Jojo cheered. This is going to be so much fun. Let's get together tomorrow and start figuring it all out. Oh, and let's invite Jacob too. Definitely, Miley agreed. Jacob went to school with Miley and was close friends with both girls. Jesselyn, Jojo's mom, sometimes referred to them as the Three Musketeers because they love hanging out together so much. Jojo, Miley, and Jacob have never seen or read the Three Musketeers, but they knew it meant that they were BFFs. After getting off the phone with Miley, Jojo started to fill Bobo in on her plans, but then she realized that Bobo had been listening the whole time. So she just had one question for her frisky little pup. Bobo, are you ready to take the stage? And that is chapter 1. Now we are on to chapter number 2, which has a cute little picture of a unicorn. And I'm going to move a little bit so the sun isn't crushing this video. Here we go, chapter number 2. Which bow do you feel like wearing today, Bobo? Jojo asked. It was the following afternoon, and Jojo and Bobo were getting ready to head over to Miley's. Yellow polka dots? Jojo held up a small yellow bow in one hand, or pink tie-dye to match me. Bobo yiped excitedly as Jojo dangled the pink bow. That was a miniature version of the one that she was wearing. Good choice, Jojo said. She gently attached the bow to a tuft of fur at the top of Bobo's adorable little head. Some days they matched their bows exactly, and other days they didn't. Jojo usually let Bobo decide, but occasionally she had to overrule her if Bobo chose a bow that didn't really go well with Jojo's. Luckily, that didn't happen very often. Jojo's bows were made to be the best, the brightest, and the cutest accessories. They usually went with anything at all. After saying goodbye to her mom and promising to be home in time for dinner, Jojo and Bobo set out for Miley's house, which was just a few blocks away. Jojo sometimes rode her bike there, but today she felt like walking. From the way that Bobo happily wagged her tail when Jojo clipped her hot pink leash to her collar, it seemed that Bobo agreed that a walk was a great idea. As they turned at the end of their block, Jojo felt a gentle tugging on the leash as Bobo tried to pull her across the street. That isn't Miley's house, Jojo laughed as Bobo pressed on toward a Spanish-style house. As they got closer, Jojo noticed a girl who looked to be about her age walking up the driveway. Hi there, Jojo called, waving. My dog Bobo, she dissolved into giggles as Bobo tugged her way toward the girl. Is apparently very excited to meet you. The girl crouched down on the driveway and let Bobo sniff her hand. Then she gently pet the little Yorkie on the head. I'm Jojo, Jojo said. It's so weird to be talking about me in a third person, but it's okay. Jojo said, smiling at the red-haired girl Bobo seemed to like so much. I know who you are, the girl said as she looked up. Jojo could see she was blushing. Are you new to the neighborhood? I don't think we've seen you before. I am. We just moved in last week, the girl replied, tucking a strand of her wavy red hair behind her ear. I'm Grace. Jojo could tell that Grace was shy. Sometimes when she met new kids, they were especially shy around her because they were fans of her songs and YouTube channel, and they got a little starstruck. When that happened, Jojo tried extra hard to put them on ease. "I love your unicorn shirt," Jojo said, gesturing to the pale yellow t-shirt that Grace was wearing with denim shorts and glittery flip-flops. Just then, Bobo barked as if she was agreeing with Jojo about Grace's shirt. Both girls laughed. "I think Bobo likes it too," Jojo added between giggles. Unicorns were everything. Grace grinned happily, revealing bright pink braces. "Thanks, I love unicorns. They're kind of my thing." "Very cool," Jojo nodded. "Like bows are kind of my thing." She gestured to the tie-dye bow with rhinestones attached to her ponytail. With the ice broken, Jojo and Grace fell into an easy conversation. Grace asked about the local school, and when Jojo explained that she was homeschooled, Grace looked disappointed. She said, "I was hoping you went to my school. It would have been nice to know someone on the first day, but it's cool that you're homeschooled." "Yeah, it's pretty great," Jojo agreed. "But as far as for knowing someone at school, you have nothing to worry about. My two closest friends, Miley and Jacob, go there. You can meet them, and then you'll know two people. In fact, I was just on my way over to Miley's house now. Why don't you come with me?" "Really?" Grace asked. "That's so nice of you to offer. Are you sure?" "Of course I'm sure," Jojo explained. Well, Grace went inside to ask her mom if it was okay to go with Miley's. Jojo texted Miley to let her know that she was bringing a new friend with her. Miley sent her the thumbs up emoji, and Grace returned a few moments later, smiling from ear to ear. Her mom, from whom Grace seemed to have inherited her pretty red hair, waved from the front door. "Text me and let me know you've arrived safely," she called. "Will do, Mom," Grace replied. On their way to Miley, Jojo filled Grace in on the upcoming block party. She was just getting to the part about her performance. When they reached Miley's front door, as Jojo raised her hand to knock, the door flew open. Bobo jumped excitedly as she spotted Miley, who was probably her second favorite person ever after Jojo. "I was waiting at the window because I'm so excited to talk about the block party," Miley exclaimed, her voice muffled slightly as she hugged her best friend. "And you must be Grace," she said a moment later as she separated from Jojo. "So nice to meet you and welcome to the neighborhood." Before Grace could answer, Miley enveloped her in a hug. With her caramel-colored skin still showing hints of the tan she picked up on the beach vacation she'd taken with her family a few weeks ago, and with her long curly hair rocking natural highlights from the sun, Jojo's best friend was looking even cuter than usual. Miley was pretty on the outside as she was on the inside. "She's a bit of a hugger," Jojo pretended to whisper to Grace. It's kind of her thing." Bobo barked as if to say, "What about me?" And all three girls burst into laughter. "Oh, hello to you too, Bobo," Miley said as she bent over to scoop up Bobo and give her a hug. Ahem. Jacob appeared behind Miley, pretending to clear his throat. "And this is Jacob," Jojo said, as Jacob stepped into view and gave Grace a little wave. Jacob was a full head taller than Miley. He had a big growth spurt over the summer. He's just as awesome as Miley, but a little bit less huggy. "I'm gonna wait for the airplane to pass." Grace smiled and waved back. "Cool braces," Jacob said, running a hand through his shaggy dark hair. Jacob had always worn his hair really short, but for the past few months he'd been growing it out. He told Jojo and Miley that he had a certain look in mind, but they still weren't quite sure what that look was, so they loved to joke with him about it. That was the kind of friendship the girls had with Jacob, and it was no secret that he loved their good-natured teasing. Jacob turned to Jojo. "Bonus points for making a new friend with braces," he said, wriggling his eyebrows as he emphasized the last word. "Oh no," Miley said as Jojo sighed. Grace looked from Jacob to Miley and finally to Jojo, a confused look on her face. "Grace, I apologize now for the fact that Jacob is probably going to grill you all day about your braces," Jojo explained. "He's getting braces soon, and he's sort of obsessed with talking about him." "Knowledge is power," Jacob said, shrugging. Grace burst out laughing. "No problem at all. I was really curious, too, before I got them. Ask away." "I like her already," Jacob grinned. "Miley, invite this girl inside." "Right, don't mind me," Miley giggled. "Please come in. There's plenty of snacks in the kitchen." She gestured for the girls to come inside and then placed Bobo back down on the ground. "Jacob brought over homemade brownies," she added, clapping excitedly. "Homemade brownies by Jacob? Lead the way," Jojo cheered as she unclipped Bobo's leash. She smiled encouragingly at Grace. Meeting 3 new people in all one day could be a lot for a shy person, but Jojo was determined to make sure Grace felt right at home with her and her friends. A little while later, Jojo knew she had nothing to worry about because Grace fit in perfectly with their little group. She was a great sport about Jacob grilling her braces, and Jojo realized all Jacob's silly questions had really helped put Grace at ease. Just then, Miley's mom poked her head into the kitchen. I know Jacob brought over brownies, but we also have cake pops if anyone's interested. Is this even a question? Jacob asked as the three girls nodded. A few moments later, Miss Bryant placed a plate of 4 cake pops in the center of the table along with a stack of napkins. Cannot forget the napkins ever. The kids all thanked her and then immediately reached out to claim a cake pop. So you can eat cake pops with braces? Jacob asked excitedly as Grace took a delicate bite of hers. Jacob, why wouldn't you be able to eat cake pops with braces? Jacob, why wouldn't you be able to eat cake pop with braces? Miley asked. I don't know, Jacob grinned as the girls all laughed. I'm just glad to know that you can. Okay, well maybe we should get down to work and talk about the block party and figure out what we're all doing, Jojo said a moment later. Jojo loved goofing around with her friends, but she also knew when it was time to buckle down. Order in the kitchen. She pretended to pound her cake pop like a gavel on her napkin. I know I'm going to perform. Hold on. I know I'm going to perform, and Miley is going to help me choreograph. What do you guys think you want to do? I'm thinking I can help out with the food in some way, Jacob replied. Making it or selling it or both, whatever they need. Jacob loves food, Jojo explained to Grace. As you can tell from the brownies, he's an incredible baker. They were really good, Grace agreed. What about you, Miley asked Grace. What are you amazing at? Grace's cheeks turned red. I don't think I'm really great at anything, she said finally. I do not believe that for 1 second, Jojo declared. Everyone is really good at something. What do you like to do? Well, Grace looked at the friendly faces around the table. Jojo smiled encouragingly. I like painting and drawing and stuff. I mean, I guess I'm okay at it. That's cool, Jojo explained. Definitely, Miley nodded. Now, I know who to ask for help with my art projects next year, Jacob added. Grace flushed with happiness. For sure, she told Jacob. You can pay her in brownies, Jojo quipped, and everyone laughed. But all joking aside, that is an amazing talent to have. We just have to figure out how to put it to good use at the block party. Speaking of which, Miley said, waving her own cake pop for emphasis, this girl from school, Kyra, just texted me to say that her mom is the head of the block party committee, so she invited us to come over tomorrow to talk about what we kids can do. Great, Jojo exclaimed. I don't think I've ever heard you mention Kyra before, have I? Well, she just started at our school at the end of last year, Jacob explained. Monty, whose mouth was full of cake pops, nodded. She wasn't in our homeroom yet, so we don't know her very well. So after tomorrow, you'll know 3 people at your new school, Jojo said to Grace. And hey, maybe Kyra will have a great idea of how to put your art skills to good use at the block party. Oh, do you think it's okay if I come too, Grace asked. Sure, it's okay, Miley smiled. Kyra said to invite my friends, and you're my friend, so that means you're invited. Jojo took a sip of her lemonade and looked around the kitchen table at her friends. Miley and Jacob were the 2 best friends a girl could ever ask for. Jojo loved that they embraced making new friends as much as she did, and she was really glad she bumped into Grace. She had a feeling this was the beginning of a wonderful new friendship. And now we are on to chapter number 3. It looks like it has a cute little plate of like cookies and baking and stuff. Here we go. The next day, Jojo, Miley, Jacob, and Grace met up in front of Miley's house. Kyra's house is that green one on the corner, Miley said, pointing to a home down the block that was a setback from the street, a winding driveway leading up to it. I think you might have some competition for Bobo's second favorite person, Jojo teased Miley as they walked. Bobo had been so excited to see Grace that she had jumped up and down until Grace scooped her up to give her a kiss hello. She was now carrying the little Yorkie the rest of the way to Kyra's house. Oh, I'm sure she was just excited to see me because I'm new to the group, Grace said quickly as she looked at Miley to see if Miley was upset, but Miley was grinning. Luckily, I don't mind sharing, Miley told Grace, and if you officially replace me in Bobo's heart, you can make it up to me by lending me that adorable unicorn necklace you're wearing. I love it. Deal, Grace agreed happily. The necklace was a silver sparkly unicorn with a rainbow horn. It was her absolute favorite, but she was always happy to share it with a friend. Having a friend to share with in her new town made her shiver with happiness. You guys do realize that I'm actually Bobo's second favorite person, right? Jacob broke in. I've asked her to not be obvious about it, but she thinks I'm the best human ever after Bobo. Well, if that's true, it's probably because she associates you with food, Jojo replied without missing a beat. Jacob clutched his chest as if he had been wounded, and Jojo, Grace, and Miley cracked up. Miley rang Kyra's doorbell, and a moment later the door swung open. A girl with long dark hair stood there, a smile lighting her features. Her brown eyes swept the group, and Jojo thought she saw her frown slightly when they landed on Grace and Bobo. I hope it's okay that I brought Bobo along, Jojo thought. I forgot to ask if she was allergic, but as Miley made quick introductions, the frown Jojo had noticed disappeared, and Kyra smiled warmingly and invited everyone inside, explaining that they would be meeting on the back porch. "I'm a really big fan of yours," Kyra said, falling into a step beside Jojo as they walked through the house. "It's so exciting to meet you. I saw the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards the last 2 years, and I loved your outfits." "Aw, thank you. It's really nice to meet you too," Jojo replied. "I realized that I probably should have asked in advance if it was okay to bring my dog," she added. "I can run her home if it's a problem." "Oh no, not a problem at all," Kyra assured her as they stepped onto the enclosed porch. "I love dogs. So she's yours and not Grace's?" "Yep, Bobo's mine," she replied. "She just really loves Grace, so Grace carried her here," she explained as she settled into a chair. Kyra sat down in the chair next to Jojo's. Jacob, Miley, and Grace were already seated. Jojo could tell that Kyra was nervous, and Jojo wanted to do everything she could to put her at ease, so she knew it could be a hard encountering 4 relatively new kids at all once. "Are those cookies I see?" Jojo asked, pointing to a plate full of yellow frosted stars and hearts on the table. Kyra nodded eagerly. "Yes, we have cookies. My mom made them, and we have other stuff inside too. If you don't like cookies, ice cream, chips." "Who doesn't love cookies?" Jacob asked, helping himself to 2. Kyra looked at Jojo and Miley's. Are cookies okay with you too?" "I can get you something else." "Cookies are perfect," Jojo replied. "I just ate lunch though, but I knew Jacob would be all over them." "So Grace," Kyra said a moment later, "I don't think I recognize you from school." "Oh, I just moved here," Grace explained. "How do you know everyone already?" Kyra asked. "Well, my good luck, I guess," Grace replied. "I bumped into Jojo yesterday when she was on her way to Miley's house, and she invited me to tag along. I just met everyone yesterday." "Oh, so you're new too?" Kyra asked, her voice a little flat. "Yeah, I'm even newer than you," Grace said as she smiled warmingly at Kyra. But Kyra's face clouded over. "I forgot the drinks," she said a moment later, frowning. "Is Sizzler okay with everyone?" Before anyone could answer, Kyra rose up out of her chair and headed into the kitchen. "I'll go to help her carry everything," Miley said a moment later after exchanging a look with Jojo. The girls returned a few minutes later, Kyra's mom right behind them. "Hi kids," Miss Gregory said, smiling warmly at the group. "I just want to welcome you all here and say thank you for helping out with the block party. Kyra and I really appreciate it." "We're happy to help," Jojo said, returning with a smile. "Yeah," Miley said, "and thank you for the cookies." Grace and Jacob murmured thanks as well. And Miss Gregory waved a hand. "It was nothing. Please enjoy. Kyra, I'll be in my office if you need me. Have fun." She called over her shoulder as she walked back into the house. "I might have to get this cookie recipe from your mom," Jacob told Kyra as he stuffed the rest of his first cookie into his mouth. "For sure." As everyone around the table cracked open their cans of sparkling water, Jojo asked Kyra about the block party. She was still trying to put Kyra at ease, and she thought that getting her to talk about the block party, the reason she had invited them all over, might help loosen her up a bit. Kyra explained that the block party was going to span 3 whole blocks in their neighborhood, and they were expecting people from all over town to attend. Her mom was the head of the planning committee, and he had asked her to be in charge of the entertainment, except for the evening movie, which was already being taken care of by some volunteers from the high school. "And that's where you guys come in," Kyra said. "Jojo, I was hoping you might want to perform. I know it's a lot to ask, but I have so many local fans of yours, and a performance from you would be the highlight of the whole day." "Well, great minds think alike, because I was going to tell you that I would love to perform," Jojo replied, "and Miley is going to help me choreograph a new dance number for this performance." "That sounds amazing," Kyra cheered. "And Miley, that's so cool that you're a choreographer." "And she's good at it," Jojo said, smiling proudly at her best friend. "Okay, let's see, what else?" Kyra mumbled as she jotted notes onto a piece of paper. "Jacob, what would you like to do? Any interest in handing the balloon animals?" Jacob said slyly, "I kind of get freaked out by the sound of popping balloons," he admitted sheepishly. "Can I do something else?" "Of course," Kyra said. "What would you like to do?" "Well, I love food, cooking it, and eating it." As if to prove his point, Jacob took a huge bite of his remaining cookie. "So I was going to offer to help out with refreshments, but I don't have to. I can do something else if this is in the entertainment category if you need." "Oh, no worries. I'll put you down for refreshments." Kyra waved a hand. "I'll let my mom know. I'm sure they'll be grateful for the help." Kyra reached for a cookie and took a small bite, and then continued speaking. "I'll take care of everything else related to your performance, Jojo," she decided. Well, that's a really big job, Jojo replied. I mean, so much goes into planning something like that. Hiring a sound truck, getting all the equipment ready, creating a flyer, advertising the performance. It's a lot for one person. I was going to suggest that my mom call your mom and they could figure it out together. My mom has a lot of experience with dealing with all that. That is great, Kyra nodded, but I'm still going to be the main organizer for it. Are you sure, Jojo asked? It's really a lot for one person to do, and you have so much to be responsible for. Being in charge of all the entertainment, I'd be happy to help out, Grace volunteered. I don't have anything to do yet. And I'm really organized, so maybe I can help you. I'm super organized and won't need help, Kyra replied, her tone a little harsh. Then her voice softened and she smiled. I'm sorry, I appreciate the offer, Grace, she said firmly. I just know I can handle it myself. Don't worry, Jojo, she added. I will not let you down. Miley jumped into the conversation and told Kyra she was thinking of teaching a dance class at the block party. Wouldn't it be cool to teach the kids the dance steps that Jojo will be performing so they can dance along from the audience? Oh, I love that idea, Kyra said excitedly. Your dance class will be the hit of the block party. Next to Jojo's performance, of course. Next to Jojo, Grace cleared her throat quickly. So, what can I do to help? She asked. Kyra looked at the piece of paper in front of her and frowned. Well, there's really nothing else. I think you can just show up and enjoy yourself. What about the balloon animals? Grace asked, a crestfallen look on her face. Don't you need someone to do those? I could learn how and help out with that. Oh, don't worry, Kyra said, shrugging. I just remembered that my mom said some kids from the high school were willing to help out with that. I bet that I can get them to do with the balloon animals. Okay, Grace replied. Grace is really good at art, Jojo said, nudging her friend gently, hoping she would speak up. Jojo could tell Grace wanted to do something at the block party. She hoped she would tell Kyra that, but Grace remained silent. Yeah, Grace is an artist, and we were trying to think of something she could do at the block party to put her talent to good use, Jacob added. That's a tough one, Kyra replied, tapping her pencil on the table. I mean, we'll have face painting, but I was going to do that, and I've already started researching how to do it online. I've got it, Miley said, suddenly snapping her fingers. What about if Grace draws portraits? Fairs always have those portrait stands. We should have one at our block party too. What do you think, Grace? Grace beamed excitedly. Drawing portraits is actually one of my favorite things to do, she exclaimed. And I'm pretty good at it too, she added. Great idea, Miley, Jojo cheered. Yeah, great idea, Kyra repeated, but she sounded a little less excited than Jojo. Okay, everyone, so since this video is already about 20-30 minutes long, I have decided to stop here and I'm going to go to the last chapter. So to find out the rest of the plot and the rest of the story, you're going to have to get this book for yourself. Jojo and Bobo take the stage. I'll link the link down in the description if you want to go get this book. But for right now, let's move on from chapter 4 to chapter 11. Here we go, here we go. I think I'm going to see if I can use this portrait as my class picture, Jacob was saying. He held out his portrait for Miley and Jojo to see. I mean, look at how good I look. Grace somehow made my hair look even cooler than it does in real life, and she captured my braces perfectly. Wow, that's so good, Miley agreed. Maybe you should take the picture to the hairdresser, Jojo teased Jacob, pretending to look wounded. I'm kidding, Jojo assured her friend. You know I love you and your funky hair. Jacob grinned as he ran a hand through his hair through his shaggy mop. But by this time next month, my hair will be all grown out and you guys will see my creative vision. Okay, if you say so, Jacob, Miley joked. Jojo and her friends were hanging out in the backstage area. Jojo and Bobo were due to perform in just a few minutes. Jojo had decided moments before she was going to perform in the candy store. It had been a hard call to make. She loved all her hit songs so much. Jojo, Grace and Kyra are here and wanted to say a quick hello to you before you go on stage, her mom said, walking toward them. For the 100th time that hour, Jojo wondered how things had gone between Kyra and Grace. She'd been dying to know if Grace was okay, but yet she knew she had to give the two girls some space to talk things out on their own. She kept a close eye on her phone the whole time, just in case Grace had texted to say she needed her. As Jojo caught sight of Grace and Kyra, she felt a rush of relief. They were both smiling as they approached the group. Hey guys, Jojo said. Before she could continue, Kyra spoke up and said, I wanted to apologize to all of you, she began. I'm so sorry that I've been difficult to deal with. I already explained this to Grace, but I was really jealous of her. I wanted to be friends with you guys so much that I got jealous of Grace for meeting you first and getting to be your friend. She stopped speaking and took a deep breath. Now that I've gotten to know Grace a little bit today, I can totally see why you all wanted to be friends with her. She's amazing. She helped me out today even after I was horrible to her. She's a really good friend, and you guys are all lucky to have each other. So I just wanted to say that I'm sorry and to let you know that I won't act so mean anymore. Miley, Jacob, and Jojo were silent as Kyra's words sank in. Jojo looked at Grace and could tell that she had forgiven Kyra. If Grace were to forgive Kyra, then Jojo knew that she could too. I guess I'll be going now, but I can't wait to see your performance, Jojo, Kyra added. She started to walk away, but Jojo called her back. So I was telling Kyra earlier, Jojo said, looking at the faces of her friends, new and old, that there's always room for new friends, right? That's right, Grace added. Definitely, Miley agreed, her arms outstretched. Ugh, are we all going to hug now, Jacob joked. Jojo, time to go, Jesselyn called. 1 second, Jojo called back. She scooped up Bobo so she could be a part of the group hug with her friends. Just as they were pulling apart, Miley put her hands in the center of the circle and the rest of the friends did the same. What's going on, Jojo asked. Then she realized to place her hand in the center of the circle and beamed with excitement as all her friends cheered, "Go, Jojo and Bobo!" Jojo and Bobo waited just off stage for Kyra's mom, the head of the block party committee, who was on stage introducing Jojo. Before we bring out the biggest star of our neighborhood, I wanted to thank my daughter, Kyra, for organizing the entertainment for this block party. Kyra, can you come up here for a moment? Jojo cheered as Kyra slowly made her way on stage. She looked really nervous. Jojo got it. The first time you stare out at a sea of faces from a stage was a moment that you never forgot. Borrowing the microphone from her mom, Kyra cleared her throat and spoke slowly and carefully. My mom put me in charge of the entertainment, but the truth is I could have never done it without the help of my friends, Kyra said, her voice shaking ever so slightly. So I'd like to thank Jojo, Miley, Jacob, and Grace, especially Grace. She's the one who drew all those amazing portraits. Kyra paused as the crowd cheered for Grace. The cheers kept going until Grace finally came up on stage too. She linked arms with Kyra and the two friends took a bow together. Jojo clapped from her spot off stage and Bobo barked for her approval. And for now, without any further ado, Kyra's mom said, the moment you've all been waiting for. Jojo felt the electric buzz of excitement ripple through her. She could not wait to perform. And as she ran on stage, she had an amazing idea in the exact moment. She knew for sure which song she wanted to perform, and it wasn't Kid in a Candy Store after all. She grabbed the phone, and instead of immediately bursting into song, she cleared her throat and waved to the audience. The crowd went wild. Wow, thank you, Jojo grinned. She could see her friends and family in the front row. It feels so amazing to be out here ready to perform at home. Thank you so much for coming. The crowd exploded with applause. It was so loud it sounded like thunder. And before I begin, I want to dedicate this song to my two newest friends, Grace and Kyra. Guys, this one's for you. And then Jojo broke into Boomerang because she had realized while she watched her friends from backstage, both girls has done an amazing job of coming back just like a boomerang. As Jojo sang, it became clear to the crowd that she was not going to be finished dancing after just one song. So she kept going. She broke into Kid in a Candy Store and pulled Miley, Grace, Kyra, Jaden, and several of the kids from the dance class on stage. Even Jacob, who didn't really like to dance, hopped on stage and danced around. After Kid in a Candy Store, Jojo kept going. She performed Hold the Drama, Every Girl's a Supergirl, and then ended with an encore of Boomerang again. The whole block was dancing and laughing and singing, and Jojo never wanted it to end. She always thought that nothing could top the rush she got from performing, but doing it at home with her friends and family and fans on stage with her, that was the best feeling in the world. That is the end of this book, but now something that's really cool about this book is you actually get a sneak peek of the second chapter book, Candy Kisses. So the first book in the Jojo and Bobo chapter series is Jojo and Bobo Take the Stage, but you also get the first chapter of Candy Kisses. Well, that was a little bit of my first book in my chapter series, Jojo and Bobo Take the Stage. If you guys want to read the rest of the book, I will link the link down in the description. Also, don't forget another link that will be right at the top of the description is the link to go get tickets so you can come see me perform live on tour. If you are a little kiddo watching this, tell your parents that you want to come see me perform live. All you gotta do is head over to jojodreamtour.com for tickets, or I'll link it down in the description. Anyways, though, I love you all so much. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure if you had fun here to press that red subscribe button, join my family. Don't forget to comment down below what book you guys want me to read a little bit of you to next. Anyways, though, I love you all so much. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.